And the crowd came up and began to ask Pilate to do as he usually did for them. And he answered them, saying, "Do you want me to release for you the King of the Jews?" For he perceived that it was out of envy that the chief priests had delivered him up. But the chief priests stirred up the crowd to have him released for Barabbas instead. And Pilate again said to them, "Then what shall I do with the man you call King of the Jews?" And they cried out again, "Crucify him." And Pilate said to them, "Why? What evil has he done?" But they shouted all the more, "Crucify him." So Pilate, wishing to satisfy the crowd, released for them Barabbas, and having scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified. And the soldiers led him away inside the palace, that is, the governor's headquarters, and they called together the whole battalion, and they clothed him in a purple cloak, and twisting together a crown of thorns, they put it on him. And they began to salute him, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they were striking his head with a reed, and spitting on him, and kneeling down in homage to him. And when they had mocked him, they stripped him of the purple cloak, and put on his own clothes on him, and they led him out to crucify him. This passage comes from Mark 15, 6 through 20. And today we remember when Christ went to the cross. And just if you look back in the timeline of what's happening, just a week ago, these people were praising him as he came into Jerusalem. They were waving palm branches at him, glorifying his name, and ready to see the Messiah. And yet here he is on trial for something that was a lie. He's being harassed and abused by soldiers. Instead of the parade, we see a parade to the cross today. And as we go out during our days, or as we stay in during the day, I urge you, read this. Go into a gospel, read the crucifixion, the trial, and prepare our hearts for our Easter services, because this isn't the end of the story. One of my favorite lines that you can find here is, let me get my Bible out, is when he's on the cross and he's up there and the crowd is watching and crucify him, watching him die. He says this, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And even here it says, and some of the bystanders hearing it said, "Behold, he is calling Elijah." But Jesus is quoting a psalm. He's quoting Psalm 22. And it goes on. It says, my God, why are you persecuting me? Why are you so far from saving me? From my words of my groaning, my God, I cry by day, but you do not answer. By night, but I find no rest. You guys, I urge you, read the crucifixion story, but then come back to Psalm 22, because the crucifixion is not the end. His death on the cross was not the end. He has so much more in store for us. But as we go out today, I want you to just take time, be with God, find a quiet corner in your house, and prepare your hearts for this weekend. If you need help finding a way to be contemplative, if you need some resources, click the link below. There should be a link to Spotify. There's a playlist for Just Good Friday, and it's just songs that just remind us who Jesus is, and we can think about that and just leave all our cares at the foot of the cross. And if not, here's a special song.